things with like drums or flats. Now, I understand. It is a little bit of a different experience if you get the drum or the flat, you know? I get it. But in the end, I'm eating it. What does it matter? I think it was Mike Florio that said this one time. He said that people argue a lot about who their top 5 quarterbacks of all time. Whoever you have at 6, give me him and we can win the Super Bowl. Exactly. Maybe you want the drums. Maybe I want the flat. You know what? It doesn't matter to me. I'm eating it. I'm not picky when it comes to that. I'm not picky. Text line 913-576-766. C-Dot, do the biting bacon sound again. You know that crunch? The crunch. You know what I'm talking about. Someone says that you get your Chipotle burritos with no beans. I don't eat beans in any capacity. I do not like them. I can tell you my Chipotle. Anybody that goes to Chipotle can tell you the Chipotle order by heart. I don't venture out. I get the same thing at Chipotle every single time. I might, at other places, I might kind of, I don't get the same thing at McDonald's every time I go. I don't get the same thing at Wendy's. I kind of do look at the menu a little bit. Now, sometimes I get mad when you're at the line and then you're like, yo, McDonald's menu hasn't changed in 20 years. Like, you know what they have, just order. But sometimes I'll go look there and I'll have a different feeling. You're like, I mean, you know what? I'm in a 20-piece chicken nugget mood today. Give me the 20-piece nugget. Give me the sweet and sour sauce. Now let me get a large Sprite. It just depends. Not at Chipotle. You know why I'm here. I'm coming in here for one particular reason. I'm getting the same chicken bowl with the white rice, the medium salsa, fajitas. You know what I started doing? I started getting the extra rice. I started getting the extra rice because I feel like it's a Jedi mind trick for them. They give you a little bit more meat because they want to fill out the bowl if you get the extra rice. So I've been going extra rice now and getting that extra filling. After that, sour cream, cheese, and lettuce, and mix it up. Every single time I go in there, man, without fail. That's what I'm getting when I go to Chipotle. I've got it down to an absolute science. Coming up at the top of the hour, we will get into the top stories of the day in Kansas City. I have 2 college football things I'd like to share with you guys. 2 things. Number 1, and I feel kind of weird saying this out loud, but I feel like some of you might agree. Streaming has made watching college football less interesting. I don't know about you guys, but I used to be sitting in front of the television back in my Time Warner cable days, my Spectrum days. I used to be in front of the television, remote in hand. I had the remote control set up perfect. You know when you hit last, remember that button back in the day? I missed the last button. You could have ESPN and then ABC, you just hit that button, you could go right click back and forth. No, not no more. Not with streaming. You can't quickly go back and forth between anything. What I love most about a college football Saturday, Green, is at any given time, there could be 7 to 10 games on your television without you really doing any work. ABC, CBS, Fox, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU, Fox Sports, FS1, SEC Network. Without doing anything, you could easily just back and forth and do all these kind of movements. Streaming killed it. Now with streaming, you kind of got to pick a game and you got to stay there. You maybe can go between 1 or 2 games. You're not flipping back and forth now. The Wi-Fi get messed up. It's buffering. It's just a lot. I don't know about you guys, but I lose my Fire Stick remote every 7 minutes. I don't know where it happens. Sometimes I feel like the Fire Stick remote is like Woody from Toy Story, but I'm not looking at just moving around. It just walks around my apartment. Some of you have the Apple TV, you know the exact same thing. You lose that little silver remote at least 15 times over the course of an evening. Sometimes you'll think it's in your hand and it just disappears. With streaming, yeah, man, if you are watching Georgia Clemson, you ain't watching nothing else. It's way too much work to turn the channel to something else. Streaming's kind of messed up the college football experience, Grant. I like streaming for a lot of other reasons because it's cheaper. than what cable was, at least for me it is. I feel like it's really made television more competitive. So there's a lot of streaming services out there, but they know that your streaming service better have top-notch options or people are not signing up for it. So that's what I really enjoy. But it has made watching college football a little less fun. Another thing I think about college football as I was watching it yesterday. Has the playoffs made college football better? I say that as someone who, I love college football. I don't really love college basketball like that. I think if you listen to the show, you know that. I enjoy college basketball. I wouldn't say that I love it, though. Some of you guys love it. I don't love it. I'm not that interested in watching Boston College play a random game against Wake Forest. I'll do that to some extent with college football, depending on when it's on and what time. I'm not too interested in doing that in the college basketball season. But I thought that the debate we used to have with college football added a sort of nuance and conversation to the sport that's now missing and was kind of the most interesting thing that happened over the course of the season. Now, I understand why we have a playoff. It's certainly more fair than the system before. But is it really? You don't have to know anything about college football this season. Nothing. Let's say you have no clue who the quarterback is for Alabama. You have no clue who replaced Trevor Lawrence in Clemson. No clue. You already know 3 of the 4 teams in the college football playoff. We've only seen one of them play, but you already know 3 of them. Ohio State, Alabama, and Clemson. We know that before they ever play a game. What scenario is Clemson not in the college football playoff this year? And who's replacing them? So we're really arguing then it's going to be 3 teams arguing for who's the 4th best team, and I can probably tell you who those 3 teams are. Oklahoma, Georgia, and Notre Dame. That's it. We know that going into the season. Has the college football playoff really made college football better? I don't think it's made it better. I think it's made it more fair. And you might argue that makes it better, that it's quote-unquote more fair. But most of you listening cheer for one of these 3 schools. Kansas, Kansas State, or Missouri. Yes, it's more fair. You still don't have any access to it. I think it's, been 7 different programs that have gone to the college football playoff since its creation? You're not in that top 7. Your best case scenario is to beat Michigan State. That's the best case scenario. Grant, I know you love K-State. They ain't never been Florida State. They made the college football playoff. You're not Washington. Washington won a national championship in our lifetime. Those are the 2 things I was thinking yesterday as I was watching a little college football.
For what it's worth, 11 different teams have made the college football playoff, but only 5 of them have made it more than once.
Yeah, at this point, college football is just rinse and repeat. That's what it is, just rinse and repeat. And I say that as someone who, I don't really mind the repetition because I genuinely want to see the best teams play. I want to see the best teams compete. I want to see that week in and week out. I mean, I still enjoy major college football games. Like yesterday, Ohio State, Minnesota was fun. We knew how it was going to end, but it was fun. It was fun to see people back. It was fun to see the energy and the vibe of college football. Like, all that was great yesterday. But of all the sports we watch, and I think it's even more anticlimactic than the NBA is. That's another conversation for another day. There is no sport more anticlimactic than college football. It is September 3rd, and I already know 75% of the season is left. And nobody's even arguing. Like the text line is like, hold on, what about North Carolina? Iowa State is the 7th ranked team preseason in college football. They have a 0% chance of making the playoffs. They're not making it. They could have a great season. They might go 10-2. Over the next 50 years, they will celebrate that team in Ames, Iowa.